What's going on, GWD community? We are here with episode 5 of the Kickoff. Today's episode, we're going to both combine week 2's recap and week 3's predictions, just to give everybody some nice, short, condensed, everything in one, so we don't have to go to 2 videos to do that. If y'all like this version better, let us know. If you don't, then we'll separate them as usual. Anywho, I'm here with the usuals. Mac Jones, say what's up.
Yo.
And we got Jonah.
What's up?
All right. How you guys doing? How was y'all's day? Just quick.
Doing good.
Not bad.
That's good. That's what you like to hear. All right. Let's go ahead and move on to the game. The primetime games we saw yesterday. We saw the Raiders take on the Steelers. We saw Trent and Smalls. I'm going to just go on my take first. Smalls came out. It looked good. You know, he had the infamous pew pew. He came out, scored. They kept it close. I believe going into halftime, it was like 10-19. And then, I mean, it all went downhill from there. You could see the Steelers really didn't score in the second half, and the Raiders poured on a bunch of runs, but scores. I think it's going to be very important for Smalls to get a quarterback because Ben Roethlisberger doesn't do what he needs to do. And Trent might have solidified himself as a real player in this league, but that's what I'll leave mine at that for now, and one of you guys can pick up.
Yeah. I think the pew pew way too early. I mean, he did that mid touchdown, so I mean that's kind of wild. And then he just went on to get beat by 52 points. So I mean, the pew pew very unexcusable. You can't really do that and then get beat like that. Mm-hmm. And then second, I did see flashes of Dwayne Haskins actually being better than Ben Roethlisberger the entire game. Mm-hmm. But you know, it just didn't seem like he cared after he went down by 21 points.
This is true. Jonah, anything?
Trent is proving that he is not a fraud. I will keep calling him it all year, but he's not a fraud anymore.
Okay. I mean, yeah, Herbert 7 touchdowns. He didn't even use the running game that much. He was just a gunslinger all day. And I mean, for anybody playing Trent, I guess that's what you got to try to stop, force him to run the ball and see what happens. Also, for the Steelers, only 38 yards rushing with Najee Harris. That's not going to win games. So
Steelers are on fraud watch, man. That's how you got to.
Yeah, Smalls is looking rough, but maybe with a few improvements here or there, we'll see a better performance. Now on to the real shocker of the day. We got young Griff and the Dolphins taking on Sean and the Bills. You know what, Jaden? I'm gonna let you start this one off, bro. Just air it out, man.
You know, I personally didn't vote for Sean. Well, I mean, I didn't bet on Sean, but I mean, the bettors gotta be furious. Like, you know, you're expecting a great game to be put out there by Sean. I mean, he's not a bad Madden player at all, and I don't think anybody was expecting him to get beat by 34. And then on the last episode that he was on, he called Franny, and I quote, "Great guy, bad Madden player," and then he loses by 34 to Griff that just lost the BK Bulls by 3. So I mean, I you know, you can't just talk smack about the players and then lose like this. So, you know,
I have to ask though, does this make Griff a reliable, notable player, or is Sean just really bad?
I don't think Sean's a bad player, and I don't think Griff's a good player. Griff's definitely not a top 10 player, but he is not as bad as I thought he was.
So it did kind of put Griff on your radar a little bit.
Yeah, he's getting there, but I mean, you know, he's playing against Sean's first game in the league, new game, so I don't know.
Jonah, what you got for us?
Everyone that we have called Mickey Mouse or a fraud is proving us wrong. And Sean just did not have a day. I put 40K on him, and he let me down. Yeah.
I mean, the score also doesn't do this justice. It really should have been like 54-6. I mean, Griff just kind of let off the handle at the end there. So that don't let that 20 deceive you. There was no offense in Buffalo today. I mean, Tua had 7 touchdowns and only 234 yards. So that tells me he's not even throwing it deep. He's getting the ball on his half of the field, throwing in clutch touchdowns, and keeping it pushing. So I hope to see a better performance out of Sean. He plays Seb the Great, which is the Washington football team. So that's a good chance for him to, bounce back. But we'll see. Griff, I always believed in Griff. I had Griff. I said Griff would finish higher than BK Bulls and might finish second in that division. We'll see how it works out. But those are the 2 games we have for your prime times. So now we're going to go through every other game we saw, or we didn't see this week, but were played. You had BK take on Seb, and BK won 21-16. I did hear that Seb dropped a game-winning touchdown with no time left in the back of the end zone with Terry McLaurin. So this game could have gone either way, but BK did pull it out. I like BK as a player. I don't know much about Seb. I haven't seen him play. I wanted to see him on primetime today, but I mean, it was a close game, and that tells me Seb has some talent. Okay, we'll move on to the Patriots and Jets. It was BK Bulls and J Daddy, a closer game than what I thought. Y'all got anything to say?
Yeah. Maybe BK Bulls got better. Only losing to 7, especially to somebody like J Daddy. I mean, we've been talking about him as a top player in the league.
Wait, no, this is incorrect. I'm sorry. It was 14-0, and this was a 4-sim. So that's not an accurate score. BK Bulls was getting shut out, I think. So BK Bulls might not be the real player we think he is.
Yeah, for sure.
I think this game was also 4-simmed. No, yeah. No way he lost to the CPU, right? This game had to have been 4-simmed. No, it wasn't 4-simmed. He just lost to the CPU.
Yeah, Austin's a fraud.
Oh, okay. We'll go on to we talked about this game. We got Juice, and they actually played. They ended up playing this game, I believe, and turns out Juice is better than the guy that just joined the Eagles. Significantly better. Maybe 67 points. That's not too. And he has Aaron Rodgers, right? I mean, maybe Juice is a guy to watch out for. We hopefully get him on primetime soon here.
Very sickening, though.
What'd you say?
Very sickening. I'm not a player. I am a player, but I in my past I have ran up the score. Not running the ball, just airing it out when down 60.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a dickhead thing to do, but you gotta do what you gotta do, I guess.
For sure. You had R2 and Disco Chicken. I mean, R2 set a record here. Jonah, what do you have to say about the Mets and Disco Chicken's Rams?
I think it's time to just give up on the season.
Just completely sell everything?
Yes, completely sell everything.
What is there to sell? I mean, let's be honest.
I hear there's a trade in the work that he's getting Joe Burrow soon. So
what?
Like 3 firsts, multiple receivers, it's an absolute load of a trade. So Joe Burrow might be heading to LA, and we'll see what Zeno comes up with in that trade. But R2 put up a record. That's the most points we've seen scored in our Madden League so far. I'm sure it'll be broken eventually, but R2
definitely needed this.
Yeah, this was a statement for him. He just kind of wanted to cheese. We'll go on to Zeno and the CPU. Good dub for her. Texans and Brown. Roman had a tough time. I said Roman was my hot take win for the week, and he lost by 50. So it's rough. I hate to see it for him. But Emergent's a good player, and maybe Roman's not the guy I thought he was. Anything y'all got to add?
Yeah, Emergent being another fraud. Once again, he might have won this game. However, he let Roman score 28 points. That's fraud behavior.
But I don't think Roman's that. I think Roman's better than what we're seeing. I think Roman has actual talent.
Okay, Roman may not be the worst player, but allowing 28 and 69 points in back-to-back weeks that just with one of the top-rated defenses in the game, that's just unexcusable, and that's kind of fraud behavior. Emergent, I think he's a fraud. I think that's gonna be.
Jonah, your take on Emergent and Roman?
No, sorry. Emergent's just gonna destroy the rest of his opponents.
For sure. I think Deeper got a forced win here with the Saints. Easy dub for him. We had Liner. This was also a fair sim. It went the Cardinals' way, so that drops Liner to 0-2. Kind of rough start for Liner, but hopefully he can pick it up. He plays Brandis tonight, so could very well go 0-3 to start his season. Tampa Bay loses to the Falcons in a CPU game. This one was interesting. This is pretty interesting. Franny holding Brandon to 52 and putting up 10. I want to see Franny on primetime because I think there's something good going down in Tennessee. Even though he's blown up his team, I think he's progressed, gotten better.
Yeah, I gotta agree. I think Franny's going up. He's getting better. And if he didn't sell the team, I mean, maybe he scores 20 points in this game. Maybe he scores 21, and maybe he only holds Brandon 40 points. But he sold the entire team, so I mean, hate to see that, but Franny looks like he's getting better.
Joan, anything on Franny or Brandon, or you're just... All right, we're gonna move on to Rylan, and Rylan beat his CPU. Not too unexpected here. This is interesting. You had Subway and his Mahomes-less Chiefs, and you had Aiden with a bounce back game after losing to Trent last week. Aiden won 37-27. I think this seems like it was a good game. It's about where I would expect for the Chiefs not to have Mahomes. Aiden bounce back offensively. I think I predicted Aiden to win this game, and this is about what I would expect the score to have been.
Yeah.
For sure. And then you had Tendies lose to the CPU Lions. They are a user now, but he did lose to the CPU. He was the first game of the week. And now their Tendies and Liner are both 0-2, so that's unfortunate. But moving on to our week 3 predictions. One game was already played between the Bears and the Browns. Emergent already got his win, so Emergent moves to 2-1. But we'll go with the predictions we see here. We got Weeda and the Carolina Panthers and Roman Fields. Just go quickly here. I'm taking Roman.
I'm taking Roman also.
Jonah? Well, it looks like we're having technical difficulties with Roman, so you're getting predictions from 2 people here. We got R2 and Franny. I'm going to say Franny.
Oh, I'm going to go R2. I think respected too much.
If Franny does win, it's going to be with like a 3 points, but if it could also be a blowout for R2. So we'll see what happens there. You got me and BK. I'll be taking myself.
All right, this can be a hot take. I want BK. He's given you troubles in the past. No offense, he got bailed out of the playoffs that 1 year. I think BK has a solid shot at winning this. If he can utilize Kyle Pitts in this game, I think he got this one.
For sure. We got CPU and Subway. I think we both agree Subway will probably win this one.
Yeah.
We got Xeno and Smalls. I think Small bounces back and probably puts like 50 on Xeno's head this week, especially with no Burrow.
Yeah. No doubt.
Moving on to Aiden and User. I don't know much about User. He hits me up. It seems like he knows what he's talking about, but I'm gonna take Aiden. Pretty easy bet for me here.
I'm gonna take the Lions. Aiden's is gonna be without Kittle. He's gonna be without Calais Campbell. He's gonna be without a bunch of players. A bunch of players got injured for him. I mean, you gotta feel bad for Aiden, but I'm gonna take the Lions guy. Just because, it's just a different guy to go with, and Aiden's kind of injured.
For sure. We got D-Bird taking on BK Bulls. This is actually probably a prime timeable game. It seems like it'd be pretty good. And I'm going to take BK Bulls, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
D-Bird's a fraud. It's happening.
But is he really, or is Tendy... I don't think D-Bird's a fraud, but I think BK Bulls is better and wins this game. Move on to Sky and Dom. I'm gonna go with the Cardinals here. I don't know if Tidy has any skill. I've seen the Cardinals cheese properly, and I think they get this dub here.
Yeah, I think I've got to see more of Tidy.
All right, we got Seb the Great and Sean. I think this is a tough one to bet on, but Seb almost beating BK, who is significantly better than Sean. I'm gonna take Seb over Sean this one.
Yeah. I hope Sean bounces back. I hope he wins, but I think I'm going to take Seb. He's just the favorite after last week's fraudulent performance.
For sure. We got J-Daddy and Austin. I got J-Daddy by 40 plus.
I got J-Daddy by 50. Austin's not that good.
Okay. We got Griff and Trent. This is interesting. I hope that Griff can keep it close, but I do think Trent will win. But I think there's a world where Griff keeps it close. Maybe 10-point game or less.
Yeah, there's definitely that world. However, we're not in that world. It's Trent by 40.
Okay. And then we got the prime time tonight. Brandon Samuels, 4-time Super Bowl champ, and Liner Cheese got himself, who is 0-2. I think Liner finally puts it together tonight and he gets a win. He beats Brandon.
Yeah. I'm gonna say the same thing. No Julio. DK's gonna get locked up by Jalen Ramsey tonight. Yeah. And Jefferson just got X Factor today.
Yep.
So I'm expecting good things from Liner. Hopefully he doesn't let us down. I'm gonna take Liner.
For sure. CPU game against I'm definitely taking the Buccaneers here by by like 20 minimum.
I'm sorry, but yeah, you're right.
We got Tendies and Juice. This is interesting. Tendies is on a slump, and I think it stays that way. I'm taking the 49ers here.
Yeah, it's gonna be a down season for attendees. Is gonna stay that way for Niners and 4.
Yeah. In the last game, we got Wet Like Water, new Eagles user, and Rylan. I'm taking Rylan, especially after this Eagles user just lost by 60. So
Yeah,
I'll be taking
Rylan
Rylan.
by 100. Rylan's gonna score the first 100 points.
First 100-point game coming from Rylan. That's his hot take. All right. Well, that's your week 3 predictions. Come back tomorrow to see how we did. Our predictions, how well they went, how horrible they went. We'll see. But remember, prime time starting tonight, 9 p.m. Central. So, if you see this, 9 p.m. Central, August 23rd, 2021. So you probably missed it if you're actually still watching this. But anywho, this is Game with Dallas. Catch you guys later. Jaden, you want to say anything?
Yeah, what's later?
All right. Twisms.